Fear is a common emotion that comes up with painting. People are often afraid to paint, afraid to make their mark, afraid to be seen, afraid to do it wrong. And fear is a lack of doing something. When I'm afraid, then I don't do it. When I'm afraid, I pull back. So to work with fear, we're actually going to work with the opposite of the spectrum, which is confidence. It's the energy of like, I can do it. And that's going to help people work with their fear by expressing confidence that is asking them to move past, to push through the fear and make their mark anyway. To work with fear and really confidence, all you need are the 3 sizes of brush: big, medium, small. I know that I personally love angle brushes, so that's what I chose. You might not know that you love a certain kind of brush, but if you do, that's what I would grab for this. And the reason that we have the 3 sizes is just so that you can work in different sizes on the canvas, but you might find that you end up just working with one, totally fine. All we need are these brushes and our paint. And similar to all of the emotions, it begins with, what color does confidence feel like to you in this moment? And it's important to qualify in this moment because it's not a like, you know, how am I always kind of philosophical question. It's really about in this moment, what are you drawn to, and not overthinking that. So I have blue and green, like a dark blue and a dark green on my palette, because for me, confidence has a boldness to it. So I picked 2 bold colors that I like. There's gonna be some crossover between people who might wanna choose to work with fear in the way that I'm about to demonstrate, and people who have that perfectionism and wanna begin the painting with letting go. The way you're gonna distinguish between the 2 and help the person decide which technique to go with is based upon their willingness, really. So if it seems like it's gonna be hard for them to even make a mark on the canvas, you're probably going to go with letting go techniques where you're using the marble rolling or the drip rolling to just help them start to make a mark without even having to use a brush. The people that are going to do this technique, they're going to want to work with their fear. They're like, I know that I'm afraid to make my mark, but I want to get better at it. I want to claim it for myself. So they've got this like inner oomph inside of like, yeah, what would it be like if I was bold and confident about mark making? That's who's going to be drawn to this one. So if I was to say it again in a different way, it would be like kind of hesitant, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to paint a canvas, like, to like, I really want to conquer this fear of mine and get better at mark making and claiming, you know, like my own space. So that kind of person, you're gonna see what it would be like for them to do this particular technique. And essentially, the technique is as simple as making your mark. And you can do this either with your dominant or your non-dominant hand. So I'm getting my brush, my favorite brush, full of nice green juicy paint, and I'm thinking about my own confidence, and I'm even telling myself like, I can do this. Any mark that I make is valuable because it's mine. And then I'm just going to begin with mark making. And I'm following what feels good to me. This is definitely more challenging for people who are intimidated by painting, less familiar with it. But as we say, if you're not willing to do it in art, you're never going to do it in life. That's really the best motto that I can think of for this particular technique is, what if I was going to be confident anyways, even though I'm intimidated by this? This is the most intuitive of the techniques, less about experimenting, more about really connecting with how they feel inside what is attractive to them, and in terms of like visually on the canvas. When you start to see something that you like because it's pretty to you, you continue with it, you enunciate it, like this right here. I'm really enjoying this. I feel attracted to this, so I'm doing it more and more and more. It's confidence is about that inner connection with yourself, really knowing what looks good to you, what feels good to you, what you want, and not allowing the inner judgment to take that away from you, even if it's there. It's not that it doesn't show up, it's that you can remind yourself in the moment that you actually can't do this wrong. I'm really liking these very light drips here, so I want to see if I can just bring some more of those in here now, because I like them. What if you could do it just because you liked it? What if that was the only qualification, is that it made you happy, that you enjoyed it? And it might not even be that you enjoy how it looks. It might be that you enjoy how it feels. And trusting that that's actually completely valid and worthwhile. And the other thing that I'm always reminding myself is this is the first layer. I'm not trying to create a painting. I'm not trying to find a face or any other thing like an animal in my painting. I'm really just focused on color and mark making and putting something down that will be inspiring to play off of in my future layers. So I actually feel good right here. I think that's going to be one of the challenges, is how do I know when I'm done? When it feels like I can be satisfied with what's there, but I've also opened up inspiration and possibility for what more is going to come.